Last night, good night last night, went out for a meal with, they all set bird off of friends. Jennifer Aniston, you know Jennifer Aniston? Stupid hair like that. It's a nuisance, you're eating with her and she's eating all the hairs going in her paella and everything. Have to keep doing that. Oi, just pull it away like that. But very nice, but not very giving. Not a giving woman. Certainly when we got back here and went down to the back of my bedroom, not very giving, right? No, because you'd think so, right? Because our uncle was doing that all the time, wasn't he, with the lollipop. Didn't seem to be interested at all, to be quite honest. I'll tell you what I've got now, some fantastic stuff. Look at this. Imagine this, right? Imagine John McCreary keeps coming around your house and becomes a nuisance, right? No worries. Just get a little bit of this stuff and splash it on him, and that'll get rid of him. Look, that's a special thing there for getting rid of, look, gamblers. Right, and also, my mate Solomon, smashing fella, nice bloke, but around here all the time. And he's just got married. Now, between me and you, I don't think it's working, because he's round here all the time. Can I come stay around your house? Can I come in? All I'll do, spray him with that. There you go. I'll get rid of him. See how it works. Simple as that. Simple as that. And sometimes Vanessa comes round. Vanessa Felska, and if it's the same thing, you don't want to just here, just whack a little bit of that on, I'll get rid of her. No, I didn't mean that. She's a lovely woman. She's like a mother to me. So several mothers, actually. Here's something you can use. Like, imagine you got friends come round, right? You got mates come round, and they stay the night. This sometimes happens. Sometimes my mate Jack Lord from Hawaii 5-0, he come round every night. He don't talk much, does he? You don't smell that good either. But anyway, if you do have celebrity friends, make sure you've always got that. Look at that, you see. Mates come round, always keep a toothbrush so they can brush their teeth the next morning. There you go. If they're Welsh people, that would do. What do they care about anything? And also, for the same reason, always a selection of toothbrushes. Now, say Mr. Richard Madeley was to come round. Well, there you go. That's the kind of thing he'd like. Look, confidence. He's a confident man. Very well possessed of himself, and give him that. Look at that. Now, what about Richard Clayderman if he was to come round? Well, you'd need that for him, look. Sensitive. Never married. Very, very nice. And if Carol Vorderman shows up, then that's the stuff for her. Look, there you go, that's for Carol. Very, very bright girl. Now, what we got in here? What's my one-legged Welsh woman got here? Let's have a look. Down in the bowels of the kitchen, and she's got, well... That's a pair of socks, isn't it? Am I right? Am I wrong? That's a pair of socks. A pair of socks and my word, a picture of Jane Torville. The wonderful Miss Jane Torville, one of the leading ice skaters of the entire Western world. So, Jane Torville and a pair of socks. Well, what have you come up with him? Oh, I see. Very funny. Yes, very rude girl you are, my family. Look at her, apparently, at boot socks. Not at all. She's a very nice man. So is Christopher Dean. He never married either. Obviously, very lucky to find me in, because normally I'd be out and about. Oh, I can't hang about. I'm going to see my mate Bamber Gascoigne, right? Who likes to flaunt it, to be honest. That's where he lives, over here. I'll see you later. All right, Bamber. Yeah. Remember this programme I made? Remember this programme? It was called Friday Now, right? I thought the title, Friday Now. It was on Thursdays. It was a bit of a pain, really. No, it was Friday. It's just a bit of a joke. I do them every now and again. Not often, but I do. And this is an excerpt from it, and it was the woman who's going to be talking, right? She's talking about one of the finest investigative journalists of our age, Mr. Chris Serle. Sadly, we don't see enough of him. Too much Roger Cook, not enough Chris Serle, I find these days. But here he is with his checkout, a little bit of checkout stuff. Coming up in a minute.
Hello again. This week, a handful of terrified passengers were trapped during a fire alert at Euston Tube Station. Passengers claim that the barriers that take your ticket before letting you out were jammed. Well, fortunately, nobody was hurt. But the incident adds to concern about the safety of the new barriers. So Chris went underground this week.
Trapped! Hey, no, it's a bit of a heavy thing, so watch.
Have you seen this advert that's come out recently? It's from London Underground, and it boasts about the new ticket barriers, the automatic ticket barriers. Now, in central London's 63 tube stations, there are no less than 700 of these barriers. Now, how good are they really? Well, I've been finding out. London Underground claims that these new automatic ticket barriers are safe, easy to use, and more convenient. And they say passengers will soon get used to them. But many of those passengers don't agree.
You see? And you think there isn't enough important stuff on television. How safe are these barriers? Pretty safe, I think, Chris, aren't they? Well, no, hey, he's going to talk to someone now from the Capital Transport Campaign, which is obviously, as it says, it's a group of people who travel in the capital, and it's a consumers thing. And obviously, whoever's in charge of that, he'll be an upright citizen, won't he? He'll be a grown-up, probably a mature man in his 40s or 50s. I wouldn't get some, like, 12-year-old student fronting up that campaign, would they? That'd be ludicrous.
Penny's case is being followed by the Transport Campaign. They say she isn't the only one to suffer problems.
I think it's one of passengers' main concerns at the moment. These things are almost universally unpopular.
Chris is going to sort it out. He's there and he's going to conduct his own experiment. Just how safe are these things, all right? And please, it will be a genuine experiment.
And these automatic barriers certainly seem to be a serious obstacle for some people. So I've got some shopping bags. I'm going to try and find out just how difficult they can be to get through. Get the ticket. I'm stuck.
Help. Chris, just walk backwards, son. Take the ticket, walk backwards, come through again. No, I'm stuck. Help me. Help me. Help.
Just a flip.
Here he goes,
Try
look.
again, this time with shopping and a pushchair.
Ticket in the slot.
Here we go. Pushchair goes through, the shopping goes through, and it's stuck. It's stuck. And that's free, and I'm stuck. No, I didn't make that happen. It actually happened.
I didn't make that happen. It actually happened.
I'm actually jammed in here. Jammed I was. I did eventually manage to get free.
What a shame. What a terrible thing. You have to go home to your wife and children. What do you do today, Daddy? I got jammed in some barriers. No, genuinely jammed. Did you, Daddy? Or did you just stand behind them and bang them and pretend you were jammed? No one took him... Even then, they rolled on a London Transport Man, and they are notoriously hard-faced people. Very, yes, well, I've got a very corporate line that I'm going to tow. Even he can't take him seriously, look.
We think our system, our new system, is safer than the one it replaces by providing more evacuation capacity and better facilities for crowd control. We believe when it's fully developed, it will be safer. Therefore, we do want to proceed and implement it.
And yet people still get stuck.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, it's only you, you idiot. Right, I've got something else now. I went over to the United States of America. I go over quite a lot. I go on Concorde, right? Well, that's not funny, I do. I go on Concorde. I've got a season ticket on Concorde. Just shoot over anytime I like. I'll sit at the front with the driver, or whatever they're called. And I made this programme about one of the legends of rock and roll. I think there are three. I think most people are agreed. I know some of the younger people are into, you know, fun-loving criminals, Oasis, people like that. But for me, there was, and only ever will be, important rock and roll people will be Buddy Holly, Carl Perkins, Elvis Presley, and Hasil Atkins, obviously. I'm sure you're all with me on that 100%. So I made a programme about the most important of those, Hasil Atkins. And it starts off with Jim Lovett. Let Jim Lovett explain.
A lot of performers.
Just before we go any further, you know the kind of people who do. Drinking buddy of Hazel's claims he's writing his biography. You're either writing his biography or you're not. Or you're just sitting there drinking.
Play music so that the audience hears it and they applaud. They go home and they forget about the music. They forget about the concert. You know, 2 or 3 days later, you know, yeah, it was a nice concert, but they didn't hear it. Hasil plays so that when you go home, you remember it, and you remember it for a long time to come.
Okay, here's Hasil's big sister, and she's many things. She's beautiful, She's young. She's also the most incomprehensible woman in the entire world. I've watched this particular segment 45 times. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. But maybe there's some of you grew up in the swamplands of Alabama, and it might make sense.
I was born in Seco, West Virginia, and Hasil Atkins is my baby brother. He started to beating on his guitar, his water bucket for a guitar. My daddy, he said, son, go out behind Chimney Corner and beat on that. Said, so he goes to Chimney Corner and he beats and beats. That's where he practiced. That's what he learned. And he listened to Hank Williams and Jimmy Rogers and all them legends. And he thought they were doing that themselves, which they was not, which he thought they was.
See? Got it? He watched them on, he thought they was beating on it and they're doing themselves, which they was not. So he thought they was, which they was not, which he was. Good God. Hasil actually just an ordinary guy. Funny enough, for all this hey, down, boys kind of talk, grew up in North London. Grew up in North London, grew up in the same street funny and stuff as me, and he had exactly the same kind of upbringing, exactly the same kind of childhood as I had.
He drove off a cliff at 100 miles an hour. He'd get girls in the car and back them into telephone poles and ram them and, you know, have sex in the middle of the road. Because that's what was going on.
That's life in Muswell Hill, basically. That's the way it goes. Now, the thing is about Hasil, there are two definitions. One of them is the right one of them is not. But there's a big argument. What is he? Is he one thing or is he the other?
Hasil Atkins is, depending on what your perspective is, a rockabilly hero, cult favorite, or an alcoholic pest.
Rockabilly hero or alcoholic pest? It's up to you guys. Now then, what we got? Ah, right, well, here we go. This is some of Hasil's music. I just managed to film this, it was on his desk. These are his songs. Let me see if I remember how this one goes. Shall I do it? Shall I try and do it for you? Yeah. Right, let me see. I can't. Well, I'll try. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I went out last night and I got hitched up. When I woke up this morning, seen what I had in bed with me. Pulled its head down, it jumped out of bed. Down in its eyes, looked at me like a dyed can of commodity meat. She said, and then I think some strings come in and some backing singers. She said, yeah, when I went out last night. It's all kind of that. It's a little bit twee, I suppose, by today's standards. It's a little bit Beverly Sisters. I think we've actually got Hasil playing it. I think so. Let's have a look.
Well, I'm going to tell you what happened. I went out last night, and I got hitched up. When I woke up this morning, should have seen what I had to see. He jumped up out of bed, pulled his hand down his eye, looked at me like a guy in Canada that commodity meat. Hit said.
Well, yeah, that's obviously the other version of it. Birthday, and his mate, Maxie, right, he had this balloon, right, in the shape of a Power Ranger, and then his other mate, he got this even bigger balloon, right, in the shape of the new Zeo Rangers. And my boy said, I want to go one better, so fair enough, that's what you want, I've sorted it out. I was going to write happy birthday on the front. Yeah, you see his mates' faces then. Yeah, and they'll know. And that'll teach them to laugh. Yeah, because I don't speak as well as their dads. He cracks me up. He cracks me up. Stephen Fry, my mate Stephen Fry. He's so funny. He's got his new book out. It's for grown-ups, but I think the kiddies would enjoy it as well. It's just the way he's just such a funny man. There's his new book there. Look. There you go. That'll be good. And this is a book that I've written. Well, not I've helped, obviously. It's all about holiday making in Wales. Yeah, it's all about going on holiday in Wales, staying in the top hotels in Wales. There you go, that's nice there, that's lovely. That's lovely. Yay! Yep, now then, we're back. We're back with my movie that I made about Hasil Atkins movie. That's what they call films in the movie business. Or is it what they call movies in the film business? Whatever, don't matter. I'm digressing. Well, I'll tell you what we got. We've got Hasil's first ever appearance on Top of the Pops. Fantastic. Here we go.
Well, you love me. Rock and roll. Hey. Whoa.
Fantastic. Such a big hit on that. You must remember a couple of years ago, by royal command, he appeared at the Palladium in the Royal Variety Show. And we said, look, it's a Royal Variety Show, Hasil. Don't just turn up like that in the T-shirt. Make a bit of an effort. All right? You've seen Elton John. Just make a bit of an effort. And bless him, he came through. Looked beautiful and sounded, as good as he's ever sounded. Beautiful song. In fact, I think one or two of you will be welling up.
Ready? Look here, mama. I'm going away, can't you see? Look here, mama.
I remember the Queen had pissed off by now. She said, I'm not having this. I'll sit through Barrymore, but I'm not having this. No, it's just for you, a little bit more.
Go away, can't you see?
Everybody!
Yeah, I love you, mama.
Big finish, Hasil.
Love you, know I love you so.
Just slightly dragging. That's it! Go on, son. Yes!
Yeah, yes, I love you. Hey!
Ta-da! Fantastic. Oh, Michael Jackson? I don't think so. Anyway, here he is now. Of course, he's famous for two things: his superb stage technique and also the dance that he came out. There have been some great dances: the locomotion, the twist, the shake, the mashed potato, the woolly bully, the barefoot, but nothing quite like the hunch.
I want to explain. I get a lot of letters from fans all over the world, and they all want to know what the hunch is. Well, hunch is the dance.
Okay.
I think it's the best dance they ever had.
I think it is.
Out of all the dances they ever had, I think it's the best one. And everybody seems to like it and everything, but nobody don't know what it is.
Right, so what we did was we got together for the film and we were very, very lucky to get some of the finest dancers around. We got Dee Dee off of Penn's People, she came down. Flick Colby from the original Penn's People, a couple of people from the younger generation. Unfortunately, couldn't get the leader of them because he was busy doing other things. But we got some really, really nice dancers. Oh, and the guy like Debbie from Hot Gossip. And they put on a demonstration of the hunch, which is the dance that Hasil invented.
You love me, baby, I love you. Come on, put it baby, that's what you do. Shake it, thing. Shake it, thing. Where's that thing?
Let's take a picture of this thing.
I'm on a big one. I'm on a great big
Throw your partner out the door. Hey.
Shake it, thing, shake it, thing.
There you go. I think it'll be a big hit in the clubs. I really do. I really do. Hey, I think the Ministry of Sound have got something to look forward to there, ladies and gentlemen. Just before we go, and we do have to go because the hands of the clock are tugging at my coattails. Before we do, we touched earlier on a program called Friday Now with the excellent Pam Roy. Pam Roy, wasn't it? Was it Pam Roy? Yeah, with the excellent Pam Roy. It was my programme, so I'm responsible for everything that happened in it, all right? And I did say it was a 45-minute programme, and I came up with this idea, right? I said, why don't we have, at the end of each show, because it's live, the 45-minute fact. This is what's happened in the last 45 minutes, okay? And I thought there'll be some interesting things, you know. How many of a certain type of thing has happened in 45 minutes? All right? Some ideas work, some ideas don't, all right?
During the last 45 minutes, 25 babies have been born in our region. Keep them coming. 45 minutes, 4,320 acres of rainforest have been destroyed.
Fair enough. No, interesting, that.
How many people have left the capital by mainline train in the last 45 minutes? Well, you may be surprised to learn that according to British Rail, it is on average a staggering 212,000 people.
Worth knowing. Come on, come on. Good stuff.
How many road traffic accidents there have been in the region in the last 45 minutes? Well, Paul, it's been 11.
You see what I mean? It's the kind of thing that people need to know. And I said to her, I said, look, as long as it will work, as long as it's fluent, as long as it's just concise and fluent, it'll work.
How many eggs have been eaten in our region during the last 45 minutes? Well, Ros, the answer would normally be 187,500.
Oh, leave it. It's a stupid idea. See you later.
Have you got any idea where Bob is?
I haven't got a clue. I haven't seen him anywhere.
Sue, can you hear me?
Yeah?
Do you know where Bob is?
No, I haven't seen him. We really need to get on with this. We're wasting valuable studio time.
Well, it's ridiculous. He's only got to open the bloody door.
You see, and now I'm completely trapped. You see, the bowler hat goes through, and the brolly goes through, and now I'm completely trapped. Hello? Somebody help me, please. Hello? Hello? You see, I'm not putting this on. I'm genuinely trapped.
In the last 45 minutes, there have been no funny jokes at all.